Hey everybody, we're back live from Roberto Clemente High School for the second ball game of the day here in the CPS Boys 16-inch championship tournament between Payton and Chicago Academy. Chicago Academy will be the home team, so they just took the field. Of course, Payton and Coach Murphy, the defending CPS champs, and you heard Eddie Curry when we interviewed him a little bit during the last ball game. Chicago Academy and Kelly were new to the Final Four, and of course Taft and Payton have been here many times. So we're going to start off the game. This is how Payton's going to go. Will Geiger leading off, Seth Berger, Matthew Moy, Sean Froning, Gabe Essex, Sam Williams, Zach Janes, Johnny Bowman, Luke Hilgard, and Charlie Hammening. I should know that name. So we're getting ready to start. Again, there was a pretty good performance by Taft as they came out and won 15-1 over Kelly. Kelly showed some nerves of a few young guys being and playing at this level of the event for the first time. So here's the leadoff man, Will Geiger. And we're underway. High pop up to center. Center fielder is there. We've had a little bit of a change. If you watched the first ball game, we were in some bright sunshine, and now it's become overcast and the temperature's dropped about 10 degrees. So it's a little chillier. Slight breeze blowing in. And here's Seth Berger, the first baseman. So the weather conditions have changed, and he lifts a fly ball. Center fielder back, can't make the catch. Now the ball's bobbled, and Seth is going to go and try to take it to third, and he's going to make it. So it looked like a routine fly ball. Center fielder looked like he had a beat on it, and the ball ended up taking off on him. So one out runner on third here for Matthew Moy, as Payton is trying to jump out in front here right away. So again, 16-inch softball, and there's a little flare foul as he tries to walk the dog down the right field line. Again, you saw the barrel of the bat, kids. If you're trying to go to right field, the barrel of his bat was pointing down toward the ground. And when you do that, you get spin, and the ball acts like a curveball. If you're going to try to hit the ball to right field like that, you almost got to start it out closer to the second baseman. Otherwise, it's going to drift. And we got a breeze blowing from left field to right field, and that didn't help either. So you want to kind of hit that ball a little bit higher up and have more of a level barrel. And there's a ground ball through the hole, first run of the ball game. So Matt Moy, the center fielder, puts Payton on top. Of course, Payton, the defending champs, looking for a repeat. Payton been a good program for a long time. They've won this thing a couple of times, I believe. And that's going to bring up Sean Froning, the catcher. Runner on first, run in here for Payton. So you can hear the Payton is off to my back here in the first base dugout. And there's a humpback foul. Again, we talked, this is a strange field. I don't know if you can pick it up on the video, but that fence by the foul pole down there comes out straight for about 10 feet, and then it takes a sharp veer toward the power alley. And we saw a couple of balls get hit down there that hit that fence right where it veers. Another base hit. Moy's going to go ahead and try to get to third, and he'll make it. And now the base runner's going to sneak into two. So second and third one out. And see, that's a difference too. These are younger kids. And at the high A or major level, the outfielders tend to be aggressive and have good arms. And a lot of times that ball that's hit through the shortstop hole, you don't necessarily see a guy go first to third on. And in those situations here at this level, you're really better off throwing it to second and keeping that base runner from the hitter, that is, from taking an extra bag on you. So there's a little inside-out swing, and he flares it, and it gets past him, and it hit that little fence. You can see it kind of bounce back. 2 runs in, and he is out at third. So the umpires kind of looked at each other there, and Gabe Essex drives in 2. They nip him at third. He tried to hook slide in there. Both of the umpires kind of looked at each other, and they finally called him out. So that's going to bring up Sam Williams, the short center. And he pops it up. Shortstop makes the play to end the inning. But in the inning, I believe they got 3 runs. Right, George?
They did, and some good leadership there by Coach Murphy as they're hitting the ball down. And Payton's the prevailing champ here, Gio. But this school, Academy, Chicago Academy, I'm glad to report, is in the old Portage Park neighborhood that I used to play with years ago. And they're somewhere on Austin Boulevard, and I'm going to go check it out. There's so many new high schools. They're picking up our game, buddy, because of you a little bit and other things we've done at the SSA. So beautiful park out here, Gio. Gorgeous weather. We'll go back to the bottom of the first inning here.
So defending champs Payton comes out firing as they score 3 in the top of the first. And again, this is kind of a, you can tell Payton been around. Coach Murphy, very, some of the schools, they all have different outlooks toward their 16-inch programs. At Payton, they take it very seriously, and they practice a lot, and they tend to be pretty good fundamentally. And softball, like we say, is about give and take, and it's a situation where these better teams will take advantage of any little mistakes. So it was 3, right, George? Okay, 3-0. Chicago Academy coming to bat here. And again, when you're kind of playing a team that's defending champs, or, Kelly, when you played Taft, who was in the championship game last year, I think a lot of times what you need to do, and there's a hard ground ball, shortstop, long throw, a little tall, and the runner's going to end up getting the second. Now they throw it again, and nice play by the short center. Again, if you're back in that play-up, you really don't want to throw the ball down to second. You don't have much of a chance, and only bad things can happen. So leadoff man is on, and that's a good start for Chicago Academy. When you're, finish my thought, when you're playing a team that's experienced and, has been here before, and they jump up on you, you want to maintain that contact. You want to get a couple of runs and just not let them start free swinging like Taft did. And there's a little flare, and it's going to get over to short center, and I like that play. You see the base runner had to wait to make sure it dropped, and you saw the center fielder did not do anything crazy. He just threw it into the short center to keep it at first and third. So here's Nathan Torres. So Damian Arroyo and Antonio Lopez Tello both on base here, nobody out. And there's a ball hit to center. Center fielder danced with it, can't make the catch. Run scores, and now he's going to try to go to third, and he's going to make it, and the runner will get to second. So that's a perfect example. He did hit the cutoff man, but when the base runner, the hitter, saw that the ball was going to the cutoff man, he just kept running. So nobody out, a run in second and third, and here's Alex Flores. Chance to tie it up with a base hit. And he hits a rocket down the left field line. That's going to tie the game at 3. And he's going to jog in with a stand-up double.
Nice shots here, Gio.
So you see Chicago Academy not intimidated by the 3-0 deficit. They've tied it up here. And that's going to bring up Giancarlo Rivera. And they try to pick off, not in time. We see a lot more pickoff attempts at the high school level than we see at the A or the major level. We see a lot of it at the B level. And there's a little pop-up. Right fielder's coming in. He'll make that catch. Throw to third. The runner did not go. It's a little offline, but good, strong throw. And again, with nobody out and you're standing on second, you really don't want to make that second out at third base there. So it brings up Abdallah Ahmed, the short center. And he swings and he just pooches it right in front of the right fielder. Another high arching throw, and that's going to allow the runner to go to second. Again, that's got to be a throw to a cutoff man that should be standing on the mound to prevent the runner from being able to advance from first. And now you got second and third, 2 outs. And that brings up Caleb Crespo. Again, 1-1 count. So the Payton pitchers fall behind 3-1 here. And there's a swing and a little soft single in front of the left fielder. And Chicago Academy takes the lead. The runner is safe, and now another run's going to score. So Chicago Academy, after falling behind 3-0, has thrown up a 5 spot to take the lead here. And that was kind of a slow motion play trying to get the hitter at second, and that allowed the base runner who started out on second to be able to sneak home there. 5-3, Chicago Academy. And there's a high fly ball. Center fielder Moy is there, puts it away. Oh, I must have missed an out, and he's out at third. So we're seeing some guys getting thrown out at third. You really don't want to make the third out there because you're going to score on a base hit. But in the inning, 5 runs, 5-3, Chicago Academy comes storming back. And again, for you base runners out there, you younger players, you need to know the situation. If you're going to tag and go there and try to get to third, what you need to do is make sure you're going to make it standing up, because you'd rather have another hitter coming up with a chance to drive you in than get thrown out. And he was out by probably a good 2 feet there. Really wasn't a close play. So you always got to think about out situation, score. A lot goes into it. It's not just running around the bases. So here comes Payton. We'll see how they respond. Not quite sure. This is either Sam Williams or Zach James. There's a hard ball. He just pounds it through the shortstop. Leadoff man is on. So that was Zach James leading off with a hard one-hopper past the shortstop. And here comes Johnny Bowman. He'll be followed by Luke Hilgert. So leadoff man on here. This is shaping up to be a little bit of a slugfest. And there's a little nice polite. He just pulled his hands in and slapped it into right field for a base hit. So it looked like he might have almost walked himself out of the swing, but then he pulled his hands in, got the barrel to the ball, and just flipped it into right. That's a nice job on hitting there. So we got first and third, nobody out. And here's Luke Hilgert. So both teams here swinging the bats and generating opportunities early in the ballgame. Top of the second, 5-3, Chicago Academy leading the defending champs. But Payton threatening. And there's a little job of, left fielder can't make the play. He got there, 5-4 ball game. Looked like he handcuffed himself. He ran in and all of a sudden the ball was at his right hip and he couldn't hold on. So we got a 5-4 ball game, first and second, nobody out. And here's Charlie hammering. So both of these teams are trading body blows. And there's a swing, and that's trouble. That's going to drop. Late start by the runner at second. He had to make sure it fell. Bases are loaded here for the top of the lineup and Will Geiger. 5-4 ball game. And Will swings and hits a ground ball. Little bobble, and they're not going to get anybody. Now the ball gets away. 2 runs are going to score, and the runner on first all the way to third base. 6-5, as Payton has scored 3 here in this inning. And here comes Seth Berger. So again, a little bobble there. Shortstop looked like he was in a little bit of a hurry. He was going to go to second. There's a bullet that gets past the third baseman. Another run in, 7-5. And again, you see the left fielder threw the ball to third. There was no play there, and it allowed Berger to sneak into second. So we're seeing, again, younger kids, but we see that they're giving up free bases. And here's Matthew Moy. He takes a little deep there. Second and third here is Payton, nobody out. Scored 4 runs, I believe, already. And Moy just hits a little topper. It's going to score another run, and the runner at second is going to easily get into third on that. So that's not a bad job. 1 in, 1 job there. 1 in, 1 over. And that's going to bring up Sean Froning, the catcher. So 1 out, another run over at third base. So again, we're seeing teams taking advantage in both of these, first game and now this game. We're seeing teams taking advantage of little miscues by the defenses today. There's a flat pitch, ground ball to third. He'll make the play to first for the second out, but another run scores. 8-5 now as Payton has pushed across 5 runs in this inning. And that's going to bring up Gabe Essex. So again, kids, there's a lot more to softball than just swinging the bats. We're seeing a lot of unearned runs today, and that's what happens when you give teams in 16 in softball extra outs. So defense is every bit as important as offense. So we know a lot of guys like taking batting practice and working on their swings, but you really, and there's a 2-out walk, and it's going to bring up Sam Williams, the short center. But a lot of guys do neglect their defense, and if you do want to play on a championship caliber, and there's a line drive. Runner was going. He's going to score. 9-5. And now the throw is wide, but Williams stayed at second. So 6-run inning here for Payton as they take a 9-5 lead. And here comes Zach Janes, who led this off. So they have spun the order here, as this is the 11th hitter of the inning. So a lot of, like I was saying, if you want to play on a championship caliber A or major team, there's a high pop-up. Left fielder got a beat on it, and he bobbles that ball, and the 10th run scores. So the left fielders had a couple of bobbles out there. Looked like a routine play. He couldn't make it. Another run scores, man on second, 2 outs. Here's Johnny Bowman, and he slaps it to right, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. I believe they got 7 in that inning. We'll check with it. So here we'll bring George Bliss in for a couple of comments.
How many nights have you lost sleep over errors that could be caught? I mean, the Payton team's hitting the ball to the positions, and there's some errors there. And this is why we call it no glove, and that's why it's so difficult. But so again, everybody, thank you for watching from out of town. Slow Pitch Softball Association, SSA broadcast, and we'll have this repeated for you on our YouTube site and our Facebook site. So make sure you tune in this winter. Tune into Gio's play-by-play and all the stuff from Forest Park and all the other tournaments all year. Thanks for watching 16-inch softball live from Chicago. This is the Chicago Public League semifinal. Payton versus Chicago Academy. Taft is waiting for the winner of this one, Gio. Back to Gio.
Thanks, George. So we got a 5 and dime game, 10-5. Payton. And here comes the leadoff man here for Chicago Academy. And he pops out to the first baseman. Lost track on my lineup card. That was number 9. E.J. Davis pops out to start at the bottom of the second. So here we go, the 10th place hitter, Alex Rivera. So Chicago Academy fell behind by 3. They came storming back with a 5 spot, and Payton responded by scoring 7. So 10-5 right now, 15 runs in the first inning and a half here of what's turning out to be and there's a dreaded 1-out walk. Again, if you're Payton and you're up 5, you really don't want to walk anybody, especially the 10th place hitter, to get to the leadoff man, Damian Arroyo. And he swings and hits a ground ball. Nice snag by the third baseman, and he makes the play. He's got a 5-run lead. He could have tried to go to short way, but he just got himself squared away and made the play for the second out. So here comes Antonio Lopez Tello. Choking up on the bat here. Again, we got a wind blowing in off the lake, and there's a little short hop to short center. He won't be able to get anybody. First and third, 2 outs. So again, a little bit of a cool breeze blowing basically from the almost straight in from left field. Payton really squeezing these Chicago Academy hitters now. And it brings up Nathan Torres. Two. Umpire called it illegal. And there's a swing and a fly ball. Moy is there and he puts it away. So little mini 2-out rally leads to no runs, and we'll head to the top of the third in a 10-5 ball game. Payton coming to bat. So again, we are live from Roberto Clemente High School over on Division near Western in the city of Chicago for the Chicago Public School Championship Tournament, boys 16-inch. And live stream sponsored by Napleton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at River Oaks, Ray Zarnick. We'll mention some of our other sponsors of the broadcast, which is Let Us Entertain You Restaurants, Tito's Handmade Vodka, please drink responsibly, Gold Rush Gaming, please gamble responsibly, The Beacon Tap, Iron Horse Security. Some of our other sponsors that help us throughout the year, Signature Transportation Group, Guaranteed Rate Affinity, Matt Dozen, Bernie's Tap and Grill, Accurate Concrete, that was Chad Harold out in Iowa, R&H Improvement, Rich Hennessy, Proline Door Systems, Nick Drebel, here's the leadoff man, and he hits a little roller. Third baseman gets set. Nice play for the first out. Seal Right Asphalt, Room for Kids, McGaffer Saloon, Lawler's Bar, and Reed Plumbing. So the leadoff man grounds out to the third baseman, and that'll bring up Charlie Hammerling, and he pops up to the pitcher. So Hilgard and Hammerling, 2 routine outs, and we're back to the top of the lineup with Will Geiger. So we'll see if this game starts to settle down a little bit after we saw 15 runs in the first 2 innings. And there's a line drive to right, and it gets over the top of the right fielder. And Will Geiger, he's going to hustle all the way in to third base. So that was a hard line drive. That ball stayed up. And now I don't know what they called there. I think they said he stepped on home plate, and they called the hitter out. So no triple, 1, 2, 3. So he did not step on home plate. He stepped in front of the plate. So, see, the umpire over there was showing that he crossed over in front of home plate on it. And again, at this level, normally, for safety purposes, they're a little stricter on that than we are at the upper levels.
Gee, I just wanted to mention very quickly our sponsor, Let Us Entertain You, R.J. Melman. Just had his first child yesterday, so we want to send all to RJ and his wife and the Rich Melman family. Congratulations, RJ Melman, on your first child, and invite us to the party.
There you go. So hopefully another legacy kid that'll be playing 16-inch softball in a few years. So here comes Chicago Academy, bottom of the third, trailing by 5, a little work to do. And there's a humpback base hit down the line, and that goes down to the wall, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Alex Flores. So you see that ball was a little different, folks. We talked about that panel and how it juts straight out from the foul pole. So the outfielder took a good angle. That ball hit the fence and it rolled right to him. Couple of panels over, and there's a pickoff play. Can't go. That ball might have taken a different bounce, but easy stand-up double. And it brings up Giancarlo Rivera. So leadoff man on here, 10-5 game, Payton leading Chicago Academy in the bottom of the third. And the way they do it in the Chicago Public League for the purposes of this championship event, the team with the better record and the higher seed is home. So even though Payton is defending champs, they're on the road in this game, if you will. And there's a little fly ball. Right fielder makes the catch, throws it into third. I'd have preferred that throw to be a little bit lower. Threw it on a fly, but just hit the cutoff guy because there is nobody standing behind the third baseman. Pitcher kind of turned into a spectator there. So if you're pitching and you see that, kids, fly ball hit with the runner at second, your job is to back up that throw at third base. And there's a little ground ball to second, and that'll be an out. And I like what the first baseman did. Even though it was a routine play, he didn't sit and wait to hear. He came right off the bag hard, and he made sure that that runner didn't have any ideas of trying to score. Here comes Caleb Crespo, I believe. So 2 outs, high pop-up, shortstop takes control, and they get the third out of the inning. So we're going to head to the top of the fourth, 10-5, Payton. So a little breezy. You see Payton in a little bit of a huddle. I'm sure Coach Murphy doesn't want them to rest on their laurels even though they're up 5 runs here. Probably wants them to refocus and to approach this thing like it's 0-0. And that is a problem. Sometimes you kind of look at it and you think, hey, you know, we're in control. And then these games change in a hurry. And Chicago Academy does have a 5 spot in the first, so. Okay, so we missed a run here. They're telling me now it's 11-5. So that must have been an 8 spot, not a 3 spot in the second. So we'll correct that on our score sheet.
This is the new executive director of sports administration right here, Dave Rosenberg.
Okay. Yeah. And there's a hard line drive off the third baseman. So the leadoff man, Seth Berger, is on. Just got some additional information there from Curry. And now we got a bat kind of in the field of play here as they're going to, first base coach, going to flip it out of play. And here's Matthew Moy. Runner on first, nobody out. And he swings a ground ball throw to second. They get to Forrest in front of a hustling Seth Berger. So here's Sean Froning, the catcher. So again, if you're Payton, and as a manager, you always want your guys to keep your foot on the gas because you're never truly comfortable. And there's a high fly ball way back, way back. Left fielder can't get to it. It's rattling around that screen. Another run in. He's going to try. They're sending him. Throw to the plate. And he's safe. So Froning airmails a deep fly ball over the left fielder's head for a 2-run shot. And now we got ourselves a 13-5 ball game. So despite the cross breeze and that wind blowing in, that ball just stayed up there and carried pretty well. And there's a line drive caught by the second baseman. 2 outs here. That'll bring up Sam Williams. And Sam swings and he guides a hit up the middle for a 2-out single. And that's going to bring up Zach Janes. So far, it's been pretty much mostly all Payton. Chicago Academy in the bottom of the first, and there's a high fly ball. Little trouble, and it drops. And now the base runner is going to continue to run, and he's going to score the 14th run, and the hitter's going to go to second. Or third, excuse me. So little confusion between the shortstop and the left fielder. They were both there. They both stopped. They were about 3 feet apart, and the ball landed right in between them. So here's Johnny Bowman. And he pops it up. The third baseman makes the play. But in the inning, a couple of more runs. We'll check and make sure here so we give you the right score. (14-5). So Payton, 3 in the first, 8 in the second, and 3 in the fourth for their 14. Chicago Academy, 5 in the first, and they've gone dry the last 2 innings. So leading off is going to be Omar Ahmad for Chicago Academy. And he swings a little roller. Pitcher makes the play. Looked like his front shoulder kind of really everything opened up. Topped the ball back to the mound. And here's E.J. Davis. So Chicago Academy needs to do some work, because Payton right now leading by 9. And again, we saw the mercy rule, and there's a little ground ball to the short center. Very calm and collected for the second out of the inning. And here comes Alex Rivera. He's going to try to keep this thing alive and get to the top of their lineup, hopefully. So heading into that top of the 5th, if you're Chicago Academy, you really need a goose egg. Any kind of a run puts you in jeopardy of being subject to the mercy rule. And there's a little fumble to throw across, not in time. Seth Berger tried to one-hand it. Now the throw at second, not in time. So base runner at second with 2 outs. And here's Damian Arroyo, the leadoff man. Again, we are live from Roberto Clemente High School. Straight west from the city of Chicago. And he swings, line drive, snagged by the third baseman. You can see over there in the background the Sears Tower. So we're going to head to the bottom of the fifth in a 14-5 ball game.
And over in the other field, Gio, as you bend your camera out to far center field, you see Taft warming up there. Taft won their game, the first game of the Final Four, against Kelly. So Taft is going to be in the final. It'll either be one of these two teams, Payton or Chicago Academy. Right now, Payton does have the lead, but again, no glove softball. Anything can happen. AstroTurf, ball might bounce kind of funny, and you have a short left field fence. Maybe somebody does start going long. So it's going to be right to the end here, and we have gorgeous weather again here. Again, this is the Slow Pitch Softball Association SSA broadcast, brought to you by our great sponsors and our number one announcer, Gio. Back to play-by-play.
So here we go. I know it sounds a little, there's a fly ball, center fielder puts it away. I know it sounds a little odd to say that it's a big inning, but it is. If you're Chicago Academy, you need to buy yourself some time, so you want to extend the ball game out. If they can get a goose egg here, they'll be guaranteed at least 2 at-bats and 2 opportunities to cut into this 9-run lead. And there's ball 4, so 1-out walk here to Charlie Hammerling. And Will Geiger, the leadoff man, coming up. And the top of the Payton lineup's been doing a good job. They've been generating. That's a bullet. Little bit of a bobble. Shortstop's looking at his hand. He caught that all in the fingers. There was no real palm involved there. So I got a feeling some of them got bent back a little bit as that ball was smoked by Will Geiger. And here's Seth Berger. And he swings and he hammers a ball, and that gets down. It gets past right center field. That ball's going to roll. That's going to be a 2-run homer, folks. We got ourselves a 16-5 ball game now. As Seth Berger hit a sinking line drive, we didn't mention it earlier, but Chicago Academy is playing 4 outfielders. And that was a little humpback line drive that was fading toward right field on the right center fielder. He couldn't cut it off, and the ball rolled almost to the fence down there. So 2 runs are in, 16-5. And there's a swing and a base hit. So Matthew Moy throws another hit out there. And Payton right now has just been relentless as they've put up 16 runs here. And here comes Sean Froning. His last time up hit an absolute bomb over the left fielder's head for a home run. So runner on here. 2 runs in, and there's a high fly ball. And he got turned around. Can see he's got a little bit of a bad hamstring. He's just going to kind of lumber into second with it, but another run scores. 17-5. Might be a quad. 2 outs. As he's stretching that leg out, I'm not sure. So they're going to pinch run for him. Can see he's hobbling off. So I believe there's 2 outs here. 3 runs in, 17-5, I believe. Here's Gabe Essex. And there's a little flare out of bounds, little inside-out swing. So Chicago Academy is going to have a lot of work to do. They're going to need, if this score holds, and what I believe is 17-5, they'll need to score at least 3 to stay. And again, first time we've seen Chicago Academy at this level of this tournament. And there's a rocket, short hop, nice play, safe, and another run scores 18-3. So he had time. Looked like the first baseman was a little slow getting over there. He might have thought that that line drive was going to carry to the shortstop, but it dived on him. And there's a little ground ball to short on the run. The throw, perfect. And we're going to head now to a do or die bottom of the fifth here. As I believe they want to say they got 4 in that inning. I think it's 18-5. So we'll get the exact score. Again, Chicago Academy and Kelly had a good year, 17-5. So they picked up 3 that inning. So Payton's only had 1 inning where they've gone dry, and that was the third. Other than that, they got 3 in the first, 8 in the second, 3 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. Chicago Academy started out terrific, 5 in the first, but they've gone dry since. So at 17-5, they'll need 3 runs to extend the ball game. Yeah, they need 3. Correct. 3 to stay in. So Chicago Academy got some work to do here. Ground ball, little bobble. That's going to be a leadoff base hit there by Antonio Lopestello with Nathan Torres coming up. He'll be followed by Alex Flores. So leadoff man on here. You need 1 more base runner to be dangerous to extend the game. And there's a ball just foul by about 6 or 8 inches. Good looking swing, just hooked it foul. And there's a swing, and that's going to be a base hit. So first 2 runners on, nobody out here as Chicago Academy's trying to claw their way into either extending and getting back into this ball game with Giancarlo Rivera. They were trying the hidden ball trick. So again, if you're Payton, and there's a long fly ball, Moy is there. Oh, little bobble, but he holds on and should have thrown that ball to second. And they call him out. They said he left early. I don't know if that's true or not. As soon as he touches the ball, now they call him safe. The minute you touch the ball, if you tag, you can go. You don't have to wait till it's a complete catch. It's the minute the ball hits the outfielder. Now, I don't know if Payton thought that he never tagged. That might be a different story. Then it would have been, you might have been able to throw and just touch a bag there if a guy didn't tag. But so 1 out here, or 2 outs, excuse me. So down to their last bullet here. And Abdallah Ahmed trying to extend the ball game. And there's a ball, and you don't want to walk anybody, because then you're in a situation where with 2 outs, anything that's hit toward a gap could get that 3rd run in, and then you're stuck playing extra. And there's a base hit. And now they throw home, which is again, that run doesn't mean anything, as it's a 17-7 ball game. You'd have been better served keeping this guy at first base if you're trying to get out of here. If you're trying to get out of here without having to play any more innings. So with 2 outs, Caleb Crespo has got a chance to extend the ball game here. So that's a little bit of a mistake there by a Payton team that's been playing pretty good. That's why we talk. You need to know situations if you're an outfielder and outs and score. And there's a little slow roller throw, and that'll do it. So Payton takes care of, I believe that should be the ball game, and it is. So in the inning, they scored 2, not enough to extend the ball game. And so far we've seen 2 mercy run rule games here starting off.
I know, and I'm going to keep my mask on here because we're going to get to the final game. But Payton, very, very good on defense. Coach Murphy, he's 1 game away from doing 2 in a row, but he's got to face Kirk Vitas and his team from Taft. So we got the downtown team versus the Northwest Side team. Taft versus Walter Payton. Gee, it should be great. We'll have it for you in a few minutes right here on SSA Broadcast. Tune in then.
Okay, folks, the next game will start at 2 o'clock, so we got about 15 minutes. We'll start a new stream. So on behalf of SSA Broadcast, George Bliss, myself, Gio, and of course Napleton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at River Oaks, we are live from Clemente High School, bringing you the best in high school softball here in the city of Chicago, and we'll see you in about 15 minutes.